YouTube, welcome back to another reaction video with your boy, Izlandboiiworm. I appreciate all the likes and comments and all the love in general y'all been showing to the channel these last couple of days. You know what I'm saying? We moving on up. You feel me? I got Watch Mojo, top 10 brutal deaths in zombie movies. Hey, let's get it.
Welcome
Already starting with that freaky shit, man.
to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 brutal deaths in zombie movies.
What do you think? Zombie kill of the week?
For this list, we'll be ranking the bloodiest or most visceral death sequences from the world of undead cinema. Despite already being dead, the zombies themselves aren't exempt from suffering gruesome ends on this list. Also, there will be some spoilers rising from the grave. Have you all seen these movies? Let us know in the comments. Number 10,
Number
Rookie
10.
Mistake, Dead Snow.
Never seen it.
Question: what's worse than fighting off a horde of zombies? How about Nazi zombies? That sounds a lot worse to us, which makes this rookie mistake.
It's always bad when zombies can run. Imagine this year niggas turned into zombies from COVID. Hussein Bolt killing everybody in a 50-mile radius. You're not outrunning them. Period.
From a sequence, the more
Get it.
frustrating.
Sheridan?
I bet grab her ass by the extension, boy. That zombie ain't playing.
You'd think that characters in a movie involving the undead would have learned not to leave their backs vulnerable to attack from an outside window, but that's exactly what happens to Erland around the midpoint of the film.
I mean, he Caucasian. His name Erlen. I'm gonna stop pausing here. I'm just saying.
His brutal demise certainly doesn't seem pleasant, but it probably could have been avoided with some common sense.
I saw his curated at Sunny Beach.
Number 9, be careful what you wish for. Death Dream, aka Dead of Night. Hey, did you know that Bob Clark, who directed A Christmas Story, also had a wild career in horror and exploitation films?
Are you two all right back there?
Death Dream is one of the director's earliest cult films, an atmospheric and melancholic take on the classic tale, The Monkey's Paw. Here, a grieving mother wishes for her son Andy, who's killed in Vietnam, to return home. Her wish comes true, but the boy is still dead and is soon seeking the blood of living victims.
Here's Andy.
Died for you, Doc. Why shouldn't you return the favor?
The scene where Andy attacks a doctor is made all the more powerful by intercutting the graphic attack and bloodletting with shots of Andy's father looking at baby photos of his son. It makes Death Dream feel just a little bit more impactful, thanks to this emotional connection.
Andy! You owe me something, Doc.
Now I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. This nigga finna inject him with a BBL, man.
Number 8, Bye Bye David, Shaun of the Dead.
Well, I think we're all agreed. You did the right thing there.
2004's Shaun of the Dead is a brilliant send-up of established zombie movie tropes, while also celebrating those tropes the whole way. One of those tropes is the inclusion of a particularly nasty death, with the victim, in this case, being the overbearing and annoying David.
Lizzie, how can you put your faith in a man you spectacularly binned for being unreliable? A man whose idea of a romantic night spot and an impenetrable fortress are the same thing. This is a pub. We are in a pub.
Charlie, mate.
What are we going to do?
This is a pub.
Get around it.
Personality flaws aside, we don't
British.
really think for a moment that David deserved the level of violence presented here, as he's very literally torn apart by a zombie horde. The practical effects serve the viewers well, and David goes out in what definitely appears to be a lot of pain, suffering, and anguish. Number 7, Ritual Sacrifice.
Nah, bro. All my African American descent subscribers, y'all know what we thinking right here.
Tombs of the Blind Dead.
Hark, O mighty one, our sacrifice begins. We commence.
with the sacrifice, the holy order of the blood ritual as you so command.
We realise that the undead Knights Templar in director Amanda de Osorio's Tombs of the Blind Dead are supposed to be the villains, but we can't help it. They just look so damn cool. Come on, they ride undead horses, for crying out loud.
It's tough. It is tough.
Seriously
Yeah,
though,
bro,
these
LA,
blind
bro.
dead monsters do go for the jugular, such as when they appear in a flashback to offer up a ritual sacrifice. They torture a screaming victim before feasting upon her blood. Later, the now undead Templars corner another victim and attack, drawn by her screeching cries of terror.
I mean, in the wrong context here, that could have been another sound. Just saying.
Don't speak. If you don't speak, you'll be safe.
Number 6, movie theatre pylon, Messiah of Evil. The brutal impact of our next story isn't necessarily drawn from the physical assault displayed, but rather the relentless suspense and atmosphere that's conjured up. The horrific and surreal nightmare, Messiah of Evil, features a number of notable sequences where ghoulish, zombie-like citizens from the town of Point Doom slowly stalk and
Nah, bro. Them zombies from Atlanta. Them niggas. She must have been selling bad perks. Them niggas not zombies,
consume
bro.
their victims. The first, occurring in a supermarket, features former Price is Right model Anitra Ford, while the second, which takes place in a movie theatre, is even more harrowing. The oppressive vibe never fails to chill our blood as more and more ghouls surround actor Joy Bang while another film is playing in the background. Number 5, Death by Tarman, The Return of the Living Dead.
Whoa.
The Return of the Living Dead is a near-perfect distillation of pure horror and totally successful comedic beats. How else can you explain a sequence?
Wait, is that Joanna Man? Is that Prince or Joanna Man?
Wherein a group of new wave punk rockers encounter an undead beast colloquially known as the Tarman. The Tarman's design is gloriously messy and goopy, surprising the group as it shouts for... The leader of the group unfortunately gets the worst of it, as Tarman gets close.
Nah, bro. That's definitely Joanna Man, bro. That's definitely
Enough to
Joanna
bite
Man.
his head and make a meal out of it. It's the sort of over-the-top physical effect that could have only been achieved.
You see how accurate he threw that? That's a hooping shot, bro.
Back in the glorious 1980s. Lawnmower deaths. Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead. Peter Jackson is another filmmaker, similar to Bob Clark, who got his start making some of the goriest
Some niggas injecting niggas with BBLs, bro.
and most depraved horror films of the day.
Evil is amongst us. Stay back, boy. This calls for divine intervention.
Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead, has to be one of Jackson's most infamous early efforts.
This nigga just, hold on. This dude just gave her a lip filler, bro. Oh yeah, these zombies is, these are new age zombies, bro. That bitch just gave him, I don't know what it is. Bruce Jenner a fucking lip filler.
Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead,
Right,
has to be one of Jackson's most infamous early efforts. A film that's so chock full of blood and guts, well, it honestly defies description. Just take a look at this lawnmower scene for proof, wherein protagonist Lionel runs through his undead-infested house like an absolute maniac.
Party's over.
This red stuff flies every which way but loose, as Lionel mows down zombie after
Nah, that did to damn abortion to a whole nother level,
The
bro.
zombie. His companions even get in on the act, using blenders in an effort to dispose
Like, oh
of the
shit.
menace. Number 3, Choked Down, Day of the Dead. Director George A. Romero is, rightfully so, considered by many as the king of the zombie film. As a result, he helmed some of the genre's most memorable death sequences, from the shocking outdoor feast from his original Night of the Living Dead to the apartment onslaught in 1978's Dawn of the Dead. No one did it quite like George. Day of the Dead might feature wall scenes, however, where the villainous Captain Rhodes finally gets his comeuppance at the clawing hands of a zombie horde. He's torn apart but has one final insult for the zombies trying to consume his remains. Say it with us. Number 2, Guts, City of the Living Dead. It's Italian director Lucio Fulci who's the subject of our final 2 entries, with the first being godfather of gore's initial offering in his Gates of Hell trilogy.
Oh no.
City of the Living Dead features a number of memorable death scenes, but the most infamous has to be what befalls poor Rosie.
This place gives me the wheelies.
Oh, Rose, go on. You're not a little child now. You don't really believe in that stupid Salem witch stuff, do you?
No, of course not.
Everybody knows when you try to get some buns in a horror movie, you die. You can't finish. You finish. You can't.
Daniela Doria reportedly went the extra mile for her scene. That's because it's long been alleged that Doria partially swallowed actual organs for the scene, where her character spews up her insides. We obviously can't show it here, but some other reports do claim that Fulci used a bust of Doria for the scene. Still, it's gross either way. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Splinter, Zombie, aka Zombie Flesh Eaters. It doesn't matter whether horror fans know Lucio Fulci's 1979 horror film as Zombie, Zombie 2, or Zombie Flesh Eaters, because it's highly likely that they've seen at least one of its infamous scenes. Maybe it's the commercial crossover moment wherein a zombie fights a shark, or maybe it's the unbearably brutal death scene of Paula. Fulci went full stop for this sequence where Paola's home is invaded by zombies, who smash through the door and go for broke. They grab her face and pull it, slowly and ever so close, to a sharp, jutting splinter in the door. The splinter goes in, and we're left with one of the most infamous scenes in zombie movie history. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch.
Hey, that was the vid. Like I said, if you new, like, comment, subscribe. If you returning and you're not subscribed, your mama, her